What up? Just ate some Mongolian beef.
Wow. You're so cultured.
Yes, not just any man can appreciate the food of Mongolia.
Just a man of the people, well-traveled.
Well, welcome to the end.
It is the end. We're halfway through the series.
Oh.
It's a big milestone.
Feel like we should be farther, given
how long it's taken
how
us.
much of this crazy person's fucking autobiography we've read. But we're part of the way there.
We were sitting at home the other day, and Angela was like, "Who's Hadrian? You talk a lot about Hadrian."
We were on a long drive today, and I needed to finish the last couple chapters, and I forced Cappy to listen to a little bit of the audiobook, and she kind of geeked out. She was like, "Hadrian, he's in it." I was like, "Oh yeah, he's the only guy. He's the only character. There are others, but they all die, so
They don't matter at all."
Yeah. She also recognized Volka's name.
Oh man, because you scream her name into the night in frustration.
Tis one of my least things. Oh my god. Is that like my omelette du fromage? If you fall asleep to Demon in White, you wake up and only know how to say tis?
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't clear, what chapters are we covering? 58 through end of Demon in White?
Well, technically 57 because I didn't do it last time. But yeah,
I'm covering 58.
Yeah, I'm covering 57 and 58.
Cool. I
Through
can't
the
believe you
end
missed
of the book.
Yeah.
I know. I can't believe I listened back when I was editing, and I'm like, I really played along. I did a little lie. You're like, isn't it funny when they steal the Declaration of Independence? And I was like, ha ha ha. Yeah,
that ruled. Yeah, yeah, that really is like if you're not listening to someone and you throw out a hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's like, just told you my mom died. Well, where do you want to start? Do we want to do summary or do we want to rate this book out of 5 stars and give it a number of booms?
I want to start with a concert review.
Oh my God, are we talking King Gizzard?
I have 3 concerts that I went to this week, I have to say.
Are you including an opener as one of your concerts? Okay,
yes,
no.
Because it was a different experience altogether.
Yeah.
I feel like if the opener is so different than the main act, you went to 2 different concerts.
We're going to one day of Outside Lands this weekend, and on the schedule is Ludacris, followed by Gracie Abrams.
Followed by Tyler, the Creator. Or Gustaffelstein. Capturing
such distinct demographics that they've actually captured everyone, I think.
I think we're all represented.
Except none of them will stay, but whatever. No. Anyways, get us to your shows. Were you in
Okay.
Philadelphia, or did I make this up?
I did a weeknight excursion to Philadelphia with our boy Tony. Me and Tony just solo tripping. And we had a French steak dinner with a bottle of red wine. And then we went to Soul Glow and TV on the Radio. And TV on the Radio rocked. It was exactly what I wanted. It's all the songs I like. But Soul Glow was the surprise. Are you familiar with their work?
I am now because I listened to them after. Yeah. You know who likes Soul Glow? Anthony Fantano.
Oh yeah, 10 out of 10.
Internet's busiest music nerd. He didn't give it a 10 out of 10, did he?
I think he gave it a 10.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well,
yeah, Fantano likes it.
When I heard the name Soul Glow, I thought they were going to be like Trombone Shorty or something.
Yeah, I didn't look at them at all. I never look at the openers. I never do my research.
Couldn't have been wronger.
They just came out hot with Who Gonna Beat My Ass?
I whooped Batman's ass.
It was like, yeah, it's like a mix of Death Grips and Wesley Willis, which is kind of
Finally,
perfect.
Someone brought those together.
Okay, so those were 2 shows in Philly, and then King Giz and the Wiz Liz was last night at Forest Hills. They were fantastic. I had a great time.
Not a person of color in sight.
No.
I was zooming in on your video. That's kind of a token. That's a rite of passage at a jam show, is looking at your own photos and seeing if there's anyone who doesn't look vaguely like us.
Usually when we were walking into the venue, the way I put it was there's a Venn diagram of 2 types of people at the show. It's people who hike a lot and tell you about it, and it's people who have never hiked in their lives but wear hiking clothes.
With the Arc'teryx boys?
Everyone there had like a pastel Denver-esque hat and a short sleeve button down or like a King Giz shirt. and like Solomon hiking boots.
I went to a little mountain town outside of LA, and normally it's like far enough away that it just kind of feels like you're in a small town, but I guess word got out, and the fucking Arc'teryx boys were there, and all of these Silver Lake fucking idiots were there in their stupid hiking clothes, not hiking, and it just felt like they were at a rodeo, except it was just a small town. They're like, what if we went to a small town? Wouldn't that be fucking funny? It's like, God, kill yourselves. I really hate these people.
Have you ever been to a country bar in LA?
Saddle Ranch? You're goddamn right I have.
Yeah. That's what it felt like.
Or Blazing
to me.
Saddles.
Yeah,
Closed due to
that's what those
dispute.
felt like to me.
Well, Blazing Saddles is the gay bar where they it literally is Ram Ranch. It's 18 naked cowboys.
18 naked cowboys.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, what was your favorite of all those shows? Quickly.
Thank you. I'm glad you asked because that's what I wanted to get to. I think that I'm going to put it in terms of my pure enjoyment in the moment. I would say Soul Glow 1, King Giz 2, TV on the Radio 3.
But all good.
All good. TV on the Radio, the audio quality wasn't very good at the venue. And that just made me a little sad. But it was all the songs I like. Soul Glow was just so jarring that it was novel. And King Giz was like 80% amazing, except for the like 12 minutes of synth. Like five dudes standing around a synth machine.
I feel like that is their most bona fide jam thing, is that in any given show, they'll have 20 to 30 minutes of really awful shit that's for no one but them.
I call like the way you described Goose is like it's their Juilliard moment. It's when they all just remember that they went to music school and they just want to play something for themselves.
Yeah. I'm tired of rocking. I want to be annoying.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the book. That was my departure.
Anyways, Demon in White.
Anyways, here we are.
Okay.
We're
Can
back.
I make an executive decision?
Hit me.
How'd you like this book? We'll do summary after. How did it stack up to the others in the series?
I don't even remember the other books in the series. This book has been 7 years of my life. It's so long.
100 pages per year.
I think it's a page per year in this book, given the time skips.
Imagine doing that. I'm going to read one book in my life. I got to find a 70 to 90 page book. Fingers crossed.
But okay. I'm so deep in it that I don't know if I'm enjoying it anymore or if I'm just looking forward to like completing a task.
Care about you.
Yeah. He's like his family.
I'm not going to give you up.
I can't get rid of Hadrian. No. Family.
And you can't.
Right. No, I'm not. There's no quit in this dog.
No. Woof.
However, I think I've just gone too deep. I'm like close reading, quiet vision scenes. And I'm like, is this what I want to be reading right now?
Yeah. This is like the first time we're doing this in podcast format has made it impossible for me to know my own feelings about the series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just have no clue how I'd feel about this if I read this on my own, not talking to anyone about it.
Yeah, I think what I would be doing is just skipping through half of the scene, like half of the internal monologuing. I would just be speed reading it and turning the page much faster. But I feel like I really need to pay attention to all of it. And so I end up not only reading those scenes twice, but then highlighting them and writing them down.
Yeah. Which probably is like the intended way to experience it. And probably the better way to do it, really. Like, giving more to a book is almost never a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm enjoying being this close to it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm in a Stockholm Syndrome thing where I'm just like being held hostage and I'm in too deep and I can't get myself out. But I think I love it.
There's a point a day ago where I texted you. I was like, I think I'm going to need 2 weeks of Hadrian detox. But now I'm so cracked out that I don't know. I could probably start the next one tomorrow. Why not?
I think your problem is your day job has you reading 600 pages of contracts and then you read 600 pages of Hadrian.
Man, that is so bad for my brain. It's crazy.
It can't be good.
I feel like if you told that to a therapist, you're like, what do you do all day? It's like, oh, I sit and read contracts all day, and then I sit and read Hadrian. They'd be like, oh, that's the worst thing you could do.
Oh, you're spiraling. This is bad.
You would be better off being an alcoholic.
I guess this is not a beach read. This is the least beach read book I think I've read.
It really isn't, but it also doesn't want to be. I think it's just that, like, it's in a genre filled with beach reads, and this is not that.
Like, I brought Wind and Truth to the beach in Mexico. all
Man,
1,400 pages of that fucker.
God damn, I loved when I was in New York, I saw a guy with the Wind and Truth hardcover on the subway.
Yeah, brother.
That guy is fucking committed.
Hell
And strong, probably.
Oh, yeah, that's 4 pounds a book right there.
Yeah.
Get your curls in. But anyway, I think, okay, to close the point on your question, it's better than book 1.
Yeah.
I think book 2 was maybe a little bit more preferred by me just because of the length. It felt a little bit more approachable and digestible. But the world building, I've really enjoyed in this book. I'm glad we're getting something it up.
Yeah. This one just feels so connected to book 2. Like they feel like sides of a coin. I think it's something we'll probably get into later, but like structurally it's so similar to book 2 and book 1 to an extent. And then like the section we're going to talk about where we get the monster lore drops are, so directly building on what we got on book 2, and it's delivered in a very, very similar way.
Yeah.
I just don't part of me thinks I prefer book 2, but it's almost because I'm thinking of them as so similar that it's like, well, the first one was a little fresher.
Yeah.
And this one felt, I don't know, like maybe I'd seen a little bit of this stuff before, but still really well done. And I think, if anything, I think the writing has improved a little bit. I think he's dialing Hadrian back just a touch in a way that I'm quite enjoying. So, not as many eye rollers here.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first one of the series where each book has been like 3 novellas in one, but this is the first book where I'm like, this could have and maybe should have been 2 books. Part 1 into Forum, and then Forum into Final Battle.
Yeah.
Those are 2 400-page books, basically.
Yeah, and there was something about the structure of it that I didn't love, in that it's so very clearly split into these like 3 distinct moments. And I wasn't sure how much each one built on the next, especially, the start of the book where we get the like very cool fight scene against the mech guy, but that is like a bottle episode of a television show, and then we move on.
Right.
I mean, I'm exaggerating. Of course, there are consequences, and it has a lot of stuff to say about his relationship with the Emperor. That's a solid 200 pages of an isolated fight scene, and then we kind of time skip into something else and smushing, and then he does that again basically after the library. So
yeah, but how are you going to write an autobiography when you live 2,000 years, bro? You got to pick the cool fights.
That is really funny to think about. All right, well, I'm going to tell my life story. Roughly 12% of it will be these 2 fights. I think that's kind of the big ones.
This is when I looked really, really cool.
This is when I screamed "die, bitch" to a 30-foot tall robot general.
See you in hell, motherfucker. Should we rip a little summary?
Tell me how my ass tastes. Yeah, can we do the summary, please, before I keep saying stupid stuff?
Okay, I mean, we're still going to say stupid stuff. It's just we're going to say more of it.
Hold on, let me go get my Daft Punk record. Okay, it's on the turntable. Go ahead.
Oh shit, there's a diamond in the basement. Nerd Squad, fresh off their discovery of the Declaration of Independence, is on the hunt in the Library of Colchis for the secret history of America, and they stumble upon a Americani ship hidden behind a portrait of Harry Truman. Yes, this is still the Sun Eater series, and it's still about space stuff 15,000 years in the future. We get a mega lore drop where we learn that the Foundation War was basically the plot of The Matrix, and that the Quiet are key players in a galactic god war. Hadrian, somehow satisfied with one conversation with the AI robot, immediately dips to figure out where the Quiet are going to spawn in the future, and we head to the ruins or foundations on planet Annika, which is named after Valka's favorite rock band. After 8 short years of wandering around some rocks and not telling his crew why, Hadrian has an ayahuasca vision and finally meets the Quiet. They show him that he alone is the key to saving the galaxy from the bad gods, and that they're totally the good gods and he should trust them, and don't ask him any questions. His character gains 6 new strength levels and the ability to dodge attacks by selecting the multiverse reality that he wants. Solo leveling, here we come. Hadrian heads to Berenike to battle Dorayaica and the Cielcin fleet, reuniting with Bassander Lin and other military figures who will die shortly to graphic deaths. After the first of several Braveheart battle speeches from Hadrian, we get a crazy extended fight sequence, which includes giant mecha attack on Titan babies, Helm's deep battering rams, Colossi, bird boys, RIP, and computer hackers all fighting it out through pure chaos. After defeating the mini-boss, Hadrian fakes a surrender to the big bad boy Dorayaica himself, showing off his multiverse invincibility to the whole army behind him by dodging some space lasers. The reserve fleet arrives just in time to save the day, and half-mortal Hadrian lives to fight again with a rising popularity that will soon rival the Empire itself.
I think the audio is going to automatically mute my clapping. Well done.
I know, it's no fun. I like the claps.
I was worried you weren't going to recover after your demon in the basement line.
I came in
hot. You did good. You did good. That was, man.
Shit.
A humble listener. If you go way back to our ice schooner episode, it took me about 20 minutes to read my own summary because I could not stop laughing at the plot of the ice schooner.
I love the ice schooner.
It is so good, man.
Michael
I love
Moorcock.
Yeah, what a legend. You know, I've seen a lot of like YouTube essays about Michael Moorcock recently.
I think we should start describing certain literary devices as Moorcockian.
Moorcockian?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's whale meat.
Yeah.
It's a very Moorcockian dish they were eating.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, let's start at the important shit. Why are there no women of color in the Americani Hall of Founders? Why can't we get Harriet Tubman out there?
Well, how many women of color presidents have we had?
I mean, none yet, but this is a few thousand years.
No, this is like, I feel like he wrote this up until like 2050, and then
really
everything stopped.
Okay. Are you ready? I've got a little game for you, my friend.
Oh, God.
And I think now's the... Hold on. Let's first talk about the library and how we get there, and then we can play our game.
Okay, excellent.
Cultists. They go to the library.
There
we go.
That's pretty much it.
Done.
It's a library under the library.
Yeah, there's a lot of Russian nesting libraries going on in this section. But they do have a section that they let them into that is sort of the Hall of Americani lore.
Yes, and they depict
that's where we get
Felsenburgh's Faustian bargain, selling the soul of humanity.
Wow.
Call back to, I think, episode 1, talking about Felsenburgh.
War of the Lords, Lord of Wars.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of great literary references in this book that I will nerdily pick out. More than a
Point
couple.
them out. Okay, but yeah, then we do get a pretty fun little lore drop as they're doing their research over a period of years, which kind of surprised me.
5 years.
I do sort of like that, though, because they got a whole lot of books. You're not going to find shit overnight.
Volka's having just an absolute episode. She's loving life.
She really is. I mean, think about where she's been before this.
Yeah, stinky barbarians.
She's been following Hadrian around, watching all of his men get fucking gorilla stomped by freaky aliens. Now she's finally just swimming and reading, which is
awesome.
Truly what everyone wants to do.
This is like, it's such a happy vibe, this part of the book. They're just discovering cool stuff. They're swimming on islands. They're absolutely just repopulating this planet.
Okay, easy.
Oh,
this is for kids.
They're like, how many bastard sons were born in the islands over this period of time?
Nothing gets me steamed up like learning about Thomas Jefferson. Okay, are you ready for my bit?
Yeah, I'm ready.
As you've alluded to, a lot of lore here. And as we alluded to in previous episodes, you have been taking fake exams in Persona 3 at GeckoCon High. I have come up with a little Americani lore quiz for you.
Excellent.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you think you'll pass?
I think I will pass.
Passing means you got to get 3 of 4 questions right.
Okay. I'm confident.
The first one, multi-parter.
Oh, God.
Who are the first and last lords of the Americani?
The first and last lords, William and Columbia.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
George Washington and Felsenburgh.
Shit. I don't think I'm right now.
Okay. I think you're thinking Americani demons, not like the... okay. Okay, so maybe there's a 50% chance I'm using Americani wrong.
That's okay.
But now you know what I mean.
I used the 2 names I remembered.
Okay, cool. So 0 for 1. What technique did the Americani AI use to enhance their processing power and preserve the human race?
Give them cancer.
Bingo. Well done. What'd you think about that?
That was wild. Well, that's what I was saying. It's literally like, you know that scene in The Matrix where they show everyone in their little pods and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That's very much what I thought of. They're just little tumor boys.
Yeah. I feel like a credit to this series is if you like step away and get the plot points, you're like, oh, this has all completely been done before in popular works. But when you're reading it, it doesn't really feel like it. It doesn't really feel like this is obviously just The Matrix done again, but kind of better.
Like, it almost makes it just more recognizable and familiar.
Yeah.
And then I enjoy the depiction of it through this writing.
Yeah. No, I think that's like a very cool, it's like a testament to the writing that you can be like this knee deep in tropes and
Props,
still
Chris.
have it feel like your own thing.
Well
Props,
done, Chris.
Okay. Who eventually defeated the Americani AI?
William. Prince William, Emperor. Well, it's one of the Williams. William
Meghan Markle.
Alexander something.
Yeah, he had 4 names. I just wrote down William Windsor of House.
I think it was William
House starts with
Alexander
an A.
something Windsor.
Yeah.
Because
Well
Alexander.
done. That was good. I didn't think you were going to get. Oh, actually, no. They've been talking about, because William is the guy we thought was Bill Gates for a long time.
Well, also William is still the emperor's name, right? The current emperor.
The guy on the cover of the book?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
And
Hadn't been in
Alexander's
the book
named
for
after
400
his
pages.
middle name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, Alexander is also the middle name of Hadrian Marlowe. Think about that.
Because he's cousin to the emperor. It's fucking idiot.
Am I sensing some parallel character development?
Oh my God. Wait, I'm
Perhaps.
2 for 3 right now. Or 2,
Yeah,
one
you're
and a
doing really
half
good.
for
This is make or break. Who, this is kind of a mean question, who is Lord Felsensberg's daughter, who he named as his successor?
Columbia.
Very well done. Wow.
Columbia.
Good
and
job.
Okay, right back at you. How many daughters did she send to the space colonies to repopulate them?
52, next question.
Boom. Let's go.
I reread this chapter literally right before we recorded.
Okay.
And yeah, Columbia, the mother of Horizon, who we meet and who is hot.
Well, no.
Yes?
Like in a forest nymphy way.
You're not recalling the line where he's like, oh, and then I understood how the old lords of America were seduced by the AI.
I thought she was
And
like
he
a
compares
little.
her to an
I
angel.
thought she was like a 10-year-old girl.
No, she's a sexy angel.
I mean, in
She's
our
like
current administration, yeah, they'd probably be attracted to her. But you know.
Damn, shout out Leo once again. I was thinking like one of those persona demons that's weirdly sexualized, but also
yeah.
frightening.
Like the penis in the wheelchair.
Is that one of them?
Oh yes.
Nice. What a great game.
I actually used him to beat the final boss in Persona 3. It felt wrong.
I just put a bullet in my head and summoned a penis in a wheelchair. 10 out of 10 game.
It was. That was a great quiz.
Well,
I enjoyed that. I think I
well
did
done.
better than I expected.
That's really good. I didn't think you were going to get Columbia.
I just remember that was one of the things I wrote down because it was just great lore. I got really excited.
Yeah, that's cool. I loved you picked all of the American place names that are tied to Rome.
Yeah, true.
Except sometimes you come up with Orlando.
Orlando.
It's like, well, I really have a specific picture of Orlando when you tell me that.
Yeah. Space Orlando.
Funnel cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, I mean, what the most shocking part of this entire section is that Hadrian didn't want to talk to the AI more.
Yeah. Wouldn't you have stayed there for another? You're not really under a time crunch.
Right. Like he just spent 5 years there, finally meets the AI, and he's done after 30 minutes.
There you go, what I needed.
Yeah. Very
He's
much
trying to go
expected
swimming
like
again.
the plot of Her to happen or something, you know?
Yeah, and then in fucking classic, kind of annoying future book spoilers, he's like, and that was the last time I saw her.
Oh man, do I have a bone to pick with him spoiling the plot elements of his own novel? This section got out of hand for me. Like,
yeah,
as soon as I would get excited about a scene, he'd be like, "Oh, and this character died soon." You know, it's just such fucking horseshit. The one that I texted you, I got furious. I think it was like, okay, it's the opening to chapter 80, like right when they're all chanting, like he comes, Darantun, which is awesome. And I was actually getting really fired up. And then he immediately spoils the whole battle.
It is such a strange thing to do as a writer.
Like, why, man? Just...
It would never occur to me to do that.
You didn't
And maybe for good reason.
He didn't need to do it.
It made sense back in book 1 when he was just doing it to, like, flag characters who were of importance.
Yeah.
But he can't be doing it when it's like, and we won the fight. It's like, okay, well... I kind of wanted to read about it.
This is one, it's when the Cielcin, the planet ship comes.
Yeah.
And he's like, in the middle of an awesome description of it, he's like, I alone of all men have stood upon its surface. You're like, well, I kind of know how this ends now, then.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's one of my bones to pick is that he continues to just spoil the cool parts of the book.
Stop
And I
spoiling your own
know
book.
people who like it are like, well, it's about the journey, not the destination. I say, go fuck yourself.
F you. I was listening to an interview with the author of that book, Tinkers. I think it won a Pulitzer a few years ago. And he said he opened that novel, spoiler for the first page of Tinkers. Probably no one who's listening to this is ever going to read Tinkers. He just started with the character saying that he was going to die in like 8 days because he's like, I didn't want my readers to even have a thought that the plot mattered here. He's like, that is not this kind of book.
I kind of like
this guy's
that.
dying and you're going to enjoy the journey to get there.
I mean, I respect. I mean, to a certain degree, Ruocchio is doing that. Like, we know Hadrian survives everything. Like, he's writing his own story. So, there is some level of, I don't think this character is going to die at certain points, even though it is a close call or whatever. But
on like a macro level, it's not affecting me because obviously we know that sun's going to go boom. But
right.
I'm still have no clue how we're going to get there and kind of what that's going to feel like when we get there. But
Stop
these smaller ones could probably be left on the cutting room floor, I think.
He has some funny one-offs like that. There's I'll maybe get to it a little bit later, but the treatment of side characters continues to be very hit or miss in this book.
Yeah.
We literally leave one of the side characters on the island, Saran.
Which, goddamn, do we have a lot to talk about? So very briefly, I really liked that scene, even though I have no fucking clue who Saran is or what her deal is.
Mm-hmm.
Just like on some very basic human level, it really felt like he got the responses right.
Yeah.
Hadrian wasn't, I don't know, he didn't handle that particularly well, but it felt like how he would have handled it and like how people in real life actually do that. Like, I know, going back to my worst job ever, if you know, there was a partner who left a couple months after I started, and she was like the right-hand man of the guy who started this group. And I was on the call when she announced it. And that was like exactly his response was like, fuck, I'm really bummed. And and he just like didn't handle it well. But at the end was like, I do wish you well or whatever. Like, you sort of are grappling with those feelings in real time.
I agree. And that's what I mean. That was a hit for me. Later on, like Lorien, I think is a big hit for me in this book.
Yeah, he's great.
Even Valka, like as annoying as it gets, she has some really high moments in this book. And then the low for me is like he opens a depiction of, I think it's like Bastian Durant, something like some military guy.
Yeah.
And again, spoiling it, it's like, so often as I've written this account, I've forgotten he was even there.
Well,
cool. Well, I don't care about this guy now.
Well, as you were speaking, I spent about 5 seconds trying to remember who the fuck Bastian Durand was. And I do remember.
Yes. Good for you.
Humble listener. So thank you.
So anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the OG, maybe closing out the Diamond, closing out Horizon section.
We get our first Weezer reference of the series with a chapter called Island in the Sun. So that's kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah. The Green
man.
album.
I love Weezer. Weezer's great. Weezer was one of my favorite live acts in the last couple of years at MSG.
Damn. Dude, we were talking about when things become so memed that it's hard to know if people like them, like Shrek. I think Weezer's in the same category.
Yeah.
So, like, people are just talking about Weezer a lot, and I have no clue if people still like them.
I could say the same thing about Fish.
I think people really like Fish, having been to a few shows.
I think people like the fact that they like it. It's like smelling your own farts.
Who was it?
No,
that's what you're thinking when you're looking at the crowd.
Yeah. Like, if there's one thing, I know my jam boss loves Fish. In the purest, the way a pure soul solves like a Rubik's Cube, No, he just loves wiggling.
Well, anyways.
Yep. We always have a mid-year beach episode.
Yeah, man. Even Avatar Last Airbender. But all broken up by Valka. Little thunderbolt of realization. There's a library within a library within a library. And this library is also a ship.
Oh. The ship of Theseus?
Who put a fucking ship in my library?
How'd they get that shit there?
Yeah, ship on the counter. Wife's gone, ship on the counter.
Ship on the counter. But yeah, they have a great little conversation. We figure out a few things. One is that they were totally using humans as processing fuel.
Yeah, the ultimate SD card. Human tissue.
And without it, they experience senescence, aging at the
cellular. Is that a real word?
It is. I looked it up. It's when
Well done.
Aging at the cellular level happens and cells stop dividing.
I tell you what, he does know a little bit of pop science, doesn't he?
He does. He knows enough to get by.
He's talking about long cell molecules and Faraday shields.
Yep.
As someone who is engaged to a nuclear medical physicist, I asked about Faraday. Real thing.
Yeah, Faraday cages.
Yeah. Okay, you know this too.
Well, no, I actually only know it from sci-fi.
All right, cool. Whatever. Okay, so now we're on to our sexy angel persona demon.
Yes.
How'd you find this whole scene?
Kind of fascinating, man. Just like a confused 15,000-year-old AI. It's like, who are you? Where's William? I'm fighting him.
My mission's going horribly. This is starting to feel like a good old-fashioned sci-fi fantasy trope.
Yes.
Coming into contact with an ancient being that has gone crazy because it's so old.
Yeah, true. There were some fun, weird facts of the conversation that they still haven't beat cancer 20,000 years after when we're living. It's not a fun fact.
But they
it's
did,
kind of crazy.
But they did beat AIDS 3. Don't forget about that.
They did beat AIDS 3. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, satellite flesh-dealing planet. Also, the cargo of the Horizon ship, the Frontier or whatever, was 10 million embryos. That's freaky.
Birth them. What do you think Ted Cruz would have to say about that?
Hadrian's children army, ancient child army. What else do we learn from that? We learn a lot. What else? There was more.
I guess. What do we learn? Okay, we learn. Maybe we should just
learn about
pivot to the quiet. Yeah, because
this is when we learn
about
the quiet from the AI perspective, which is that they can see and speak across time, but they can't move or act within our dimension because they're 4-dimensional beings. They're stuck in the future and they can't come into existence if the diamonds win. Diamonds are just really good at predicting the future. They want to become a super intelligence to rival the gods like the quiet or other galactic gods.
Yeah, they have an interesting exchange where Hadrian is like, are these things gods? And they're like, I don't know, that if you're using the word gods, that's kind of primitive. But like, if by God, do you mean that they can like create matter and planets and shit? And what Hadrian's probably like, that's pretty much what I mean by God.
That's
like,
the 3 boxes I had for God.
Right,
Defining God right there.
That's mostly how we use that word. So they are. He's going whole hog on time shit.
Oof, this was a big time section, and the pivotal factor at the end here is that the quiet ruins are not ruins, but the foundations of the future society. It's running in reverse, which we also find out isn't correct, but that's the first assumption here. But
I spent like 10 minutes kind of trying to understand what it means for them to be moving backwards in time. And the more I looked at it, the less it made sense to me. So I'm just going with an elementary, like I can say the words that the ruins are moving backwards in time, and I'll never really understand what that means, but I can say that and probably get through the book.
That's because you're a 3-dimensional being that casts a 2-dimensional shadow.
That is such a weird thing. I feel like a lot of authors... Have we talked about this? I feel like I'm repeating myself.
I don't know.
I think it's something I was thinking about. Okay, hold on. Tangent time. This seems like this comes up in sci-fi and fantasy. People always write themselves into a situation where they have to describe something that is beyond human comprehension, except a human being is writing it. So, like, I think the sort of low point is like the spiritual realm in the Cosmere, where it's like, ooh, it's a freaky place where clocks turn back, and you get there and it's like, oh, it's just visions. All right, cool.
Well, you loved episode 6 of Wheel of Time, season 3.
That's different. See, that's more Hadrian-esque. It really is kind of Hadrian-esque.
Yeah, that's more him. But that is like a time running forwards and backwards realm. Also, Asimov's Foundations has a big 4-dimensional time element thing in it.
I was really having an internal debate about whether I correct you on your understanding of Ruocchio and the Wheel of Time.
My goal is to
He's actually living out the history of the Aiel backwards, and it's not parallel dimension. It's nothing to do with time. It's history that actually occurred, told backwards for narrative purposes.
God, I can't believe you ever got a girlfriend.
I'm engaged.
I know. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so now that we understand time, we got to get the fuck off Library Planet.
Yeah, we got to go find these bad boys.
You think we're going to see Gibson again? I don't.
No. I said, sweet little goodbye with Gibson. I don't think we'll see him again in my notes.
Yeah, because, probably 400 years are going to elapse before the start of book 4, and I think that's just going to be the end for him.
Well, immediately 50 years pass to get to Annika.
Benenekani? What's the last planet's name?
Not even, that's another 60 years. Getting to Annika, to the ruins, is 50 years. Let me
This gets exactly.
I'm sorry. Let me do my timeline here. This is my rough timeline.
This is awesome. Thank you.
This is just this book. So we start with a 300-year time skip in part 1. 80 real years for Hadrian. Then the first battle going to it and coming back from it is roughly, I think, 80 years, like 40 each way or something. And then he spends like a year or 2 on the Forum. I forget how long it takes him to go to Colchis, but at least a couple of years. 5 years studying at the library. Then it's 50 years to the ruins. He spends 8 years at the ruins total. Then it's 60 years to Berenike. He spends 2 years on Berenike before the battle. In total, and I think it's a conservative estimate, this book is 510 years long.
Imagine being on the Tamerlane.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God. I'm on Annika for 8 years.
So absolutely. By the time the battle ends at the end of the book, it's been like 120 years for Gibson. He's dead.
Jeepers. Rest in peace, old man.
Yeah. Sorry to spoil that for anyone, but sucks for you.
Before I forget this really unimportant note, is Switch dead?
We will never know.
I hope we definitively know. Because when he's visited by the Quiet, they take the form of our old fave, Cat.
Yes.
And Switch and someone else who I can't remember. And the other 2 are definitely dead.
Yeah.
Although, no, they did inhabit the body of Gibson.
Right. They can take over whoever they want.
Okay.
They're just doing people that are important to him. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, we dip out.
So
we're going to go find the most, I think the way they describe it, it's like the most likely spot that the Quiet are going to develop a civilization. That's the best way I understood it. There is a funny, I do like that on the journey there, which is 50 years. Again, let me reiterate. They get in like one of those classic Hadrian arguments over like where the fuck they are in space and if they're going the right way. You just feel how frustrating it must be to be Hadrian's crew.
Yeah.
Like, brother, you just
We're going the right way. I know we're going to a planet literally no one has ever been to, but trust me.
It's just like Vorgrassos, bro. That thing was sick. Trust me. I know you.
It's 50 years.
I know you had a nice family that you were building on that island, paradise in Scotland.
Bad news, honey. Hadrian is traveling 50 years in a weird direction. I love you. I'll see you in another life.
Yes. And once again, he will not tell them what he's looking for when he gets there.
It's on a need-to-know basis. But they do get there.
Yes.
And they find them ruins. And we're just, dude, Kalagad 2.
Did we figure out what Annika is a reference to? I tried to look it up.
Velka's band.
Yeah. But like...
Not her band she likes.
I assumed in like Ruocchio fashion, he was... I don't know, maybe it's like his wife's favorite band or something because he wrote his best man into the book. I was like, that could be a nice
What
nod.
kind of music do you think Velka's favorite band makes?
Prog rock, math rock.
I was thinking like punk mixed with Gogol Bordello.
Yeah, or all synth.
Punk with
it's all synth. Yeah.
I'd be into that.
She's
I feel
a
like she
computer
has.
lady. Oh yeah, she's.
What kind of music do you think?
He listens to audiobooks.
I was thinking like only piano concertos.
He listens to like top 50 famous speeches in history over and over again.
It's the Gettysburg Address with lo-fi chill hop behind it. What were we talking about?
The ruins.
Vorgrassos. Okay, so the ruins are not, I don't know, I'm making the stupidest point. The ruins are like not a molecular structure. They're not atomic. They're
No way.
Something else. But you can still cut them.
Yeah. No, you cut them, but then they reform because time's moving backwards.
Because time's backwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, but I get it.
Yeah. One side note, we get a nice little quote here, which is the titles of the different books. It says, Silence, I said, finding myself in an ancient scrap of writing. The great empire of silence, higher than all stars, deeper than the kingdom of death. It alone is great, all else is small. Also, just a wild thing to say on a date. Like, just to start saying that in the middle of your date.
I looked over at my other screen here, and I'd Googled something that I wanted to mention with you on the pod, but sort of the moment has passed.
I think
Can I tell you anyways?
Yeah, you have to. By the way, that quote was from Thomas Carlyle, a Scottish philosopher and writer.
Oh, so the book titles are from that.
At least 2.
But wasn't one of the future books just named in that quote you had?
Yeah, Kingdom of Death and Empire of Silence.
Well,
I know.
like that.
I was like, that's
very fun.
When I read that, I was like, that is really cool.
Oh yeah, and there were all the we got like the Ozymandias chapter titles here too, like the Lone and Level Sands, and then I think there was a chapter called Ozymandias. Very cool. This guy loves books.
Statue in the desert.
Anyways,
what was your
a few
point?
days ago, Square Enix announced a new RPG in the HD 2D engine used for Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. It's called The Adventures of Elliot. And important detail, it's set in the mythical land of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
Brutal.
Oh, no.
How can you have a team of 100 people come up with a Philadelphia?
That's bad.
Welcome.
What's your favorite, like, fictional city based on a real city? Like a Gotham or something.
Based on a real city?
Yeah.
Like Gotham, Chicago?
Gotham's like Chicago / New York.
Oh, that's a great question.
But like for me, like mine is Big Hero 6, the animated Pixar movie. It's set in San Fernando, which is like a more Asian San Francisco.
That's really, really good.
It's awesome.
Damn. I don't know. I got to think about that. Okay. Nothing's immediately springing to mind.
Yeah.
But
maybe it's Philadelphia.
I think it's Philadelphia. Right now, Philadelphia.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Quiet 2.
Quiet 2. The Reckoning.
I swear to God, we're going to talk about this.
We're going to get through this. Bear with us.
Should we just jump straight to Valka disappears, Hadrian runs after her, and ends up finding a very long, thin bridge to nowhere.
Did you get Berenike vibes?
I was kind of thinking about like Moses lost in the desert. I wonder if it was a little more biblical. This was his period of wandering and starving.
I could see that. When he was in the labyrinth, I got some Berenike vibes, but I could see when he's on the bridge, that is a little... And then he has to climb.
Very cool.
He climbs the mountain.
Yeah, fire on the mountain.
Yeah.
Gets there, not in a great state, but yeah, we finally get another showdown with the Quiet. They have graced him with some more cryptic sayings. How did the next encounter hit you?
It made me... I felt like I had a good grasp on things when the AI was telling us how the world worked, and then this made me pretty confused.
That's not how I felt. I sort of felt like I didn't learn as much new stuff as I kind of wanted to.
I think it's solidified.
I think you slightly disagreed with me on that.
Yeah, because I think it really puts into perspective, like, this is a, like, heaven v hell situation.
Yeah.
This is, like, the Cielcin worship literal evil gods that they're pulling out of cauldron ooze.
Yeah.
And they will pillage the universe if you personally do not stop them, specifically by murdering a planet.
Yeah, that has to be the big takeaway,
yeah.
Is that there's a second godlike power in the universe that are now known as the Watchers.
I guess, yeah.
Like by the end of the book. I can't remember where that actually came up, but they're referring to that. Yeah, and they're like winged, freaky, rotting angel beings.
Well, and we do get clarification that the Cielcin don't worship the Quiet, which is big. Because I thought this whole time, like, when they go to this Quiet planet, Annika, it was actually going to be like the Cielcin home planet. That was actually one of the things I thought was going to happen.
So that's an interesting question. What were they doing at Caliga? Because they said that they were on a pilgrimage, but what does that have to do with the Watchers? And were the Watchers sending them to Quiet Ruins to do something?
Maybe either to harm the Quiet Ruins so that they don't come into existence, since they're like foundations, or maybe there's similar things between Watchers and Quiet, and they're like, they have similar signals. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. I don't know.
Feels like something we can't know.
Yeah. But I guess, okay, to your point, like, it does clarify things about, like, the mission of the universe, if and only if you trust the Quiet, who are really just like, I don't know. I hope they're good. Hadrian's going to follow them.
I feel like I'm a lot more skeptical of the Quiet than Hadrian is right now.
Yeah, because I've read Nether and Valor.
Shout out John Gwynn.
Shout out John Gwynn. You can't follow the evil sun god, bro.
Yeah. Never follow the evil sun god. What do you... Historically, turns out bad every time.
Yeah. But I mean, this could certainly be a case of bad god manipulation. I don't know. Hadrian could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I still just kind of want to know what the Quiet are up to, aside from... And there's got to be something beyond wanting to come into being. I know that's step 1, but like what's step 2 through 5?
I guess they do show him a future where the universe is flourishing and like life is being created, right? So that's what they're pitching him. But I am skeptical too. I think it could be interesting later in this series for Hadrian to find out maybe the Quiet aren't all that good.
Was it always obvious what the eggshell was, or was this like a?
No.
I bet like really eagle-eyed readers maybe could have theorized about that.
It definitely wasn't. It wasn't obvious for me, but then a little bit later on, it definitely feels. It's like, okay, I get it.
Oh, and the Quiet are like not a people. I think it's a singular entity.
Oh, I didn't get that part.
Hi, Angela. Did you see Angela open the door and then shut it?
No, I didn't.
She's
nice.
There.
Just peeking.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. It still feels kind of godlike, but it's not like a race of people who are going to come. It's maybe more of a single He-Man.
Yeah, but this vision quest is very, I don't know. It has a lot of consequences for Hadrian. Like one, he chooses to go to Berenike so that he doesn't have to fight the Cielcin later on and destroy a planet of 2 billion people. He thinks he can head them off at the pass and like do something unpredictable that the Quiet haven't seen or predicted. Yeah. And they're like, up to you, buddy. We haven't seen that. And then also he gets superpowers.
Yeah, they open up the skill tree and he selects maneuver through time.
Yeah, maneuver through alternate realities.
Alternate possibilities of like a single moment, which is useful for dodging bullets and TBD what else.
It's a weird power.
Yeah. You can like rifle through different possibilities of but like a very small.
Right.
Like I don't think he can steer the entire universe along a different course.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets there.
Yeah. But he can be like, there's a chance in 1,000 versions of myself that I land and don't break my ankles when I jump onto this ship.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So do you want to get to my prediction for the end of the series?
Yes.
He has leveled up time maneuvering to max level. And he uses it at the same point that he blows up the sun. And maybe like splits reality in two, where he sort of breaks one and kills a whole fuck ton of people and then has to live in that one. But there's another one where things break a lot better. And he sort of maneuvers it in that way where he's like, I fucked up this one particular universe, but there's another one where a sun isn't blown up or things worked out okay and fewer people died or what. Something like that.
Okay. Very like Loki multiverse.
Picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah.
Marvel.
Or even just something as simple as like what you think happened isn't what appeared to happen. I shifted some shit so it's better than it appears and I'm going to take the fall because everyone thinks I killed 8 billion people.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad prediction because he is in like Scolius jail at the end of this and by his own account seems to be kind of a demonic figure for humanity.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell whether it was because of like a queen sacrifice or like you said, he like martyred himself for the greater good. No, that's a good prediction. I like that. How do we know George Bush didn't do that?
What, blow up a sun?
We never found those weapons of mass destruction because he hid them in an alternate reality.
Holy fuck. Are we Q?
Whoa. Holy shit.
Fuck. And doxed you as Q. Okay. So I think in the interest of time, we'll leave it there and go to Berenike.
To the fight. Also, Hadrian uses a cane now. You see that?
No, I didn't.
Because he's hurt after the ruins because he takes his spacesuit off.
Yeah.
And when they're on their way to Berenike, he uses a gentleman's cane now to walk.
Wow.
So he's got a cape and a cane, like a villain from the 1800s.
He needs to get like a Cruella de Vil's cigarette holder.
Yeah. I also don't know how he fights so well if he is hurt and needs a cane to walk. But
it's like Yoda.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're loading up for war. We get to Berenike. The old gang is there, Basander and Hauptmann and the Irkitani.
Yeah. Oh, and en route, we do get the kind of cool scene where Durand is calling his bona fides into question.
Yeah.
And he makes Durand shoot him in the chest, and he does his little time shift maneuver.
I mean, that was sick.
Feels a little manipulative, I think.
It was cool for him just to be like, you know what? I'm not talking anymore. Shoot me in the chest.
Folks, I'm kind of sick right now.
Like, I'm a little goated.
And I'm not going to hear otherwise. Yeah, that was a cool scene.
That was cool. Also, I thought a bold first choice to test your new powers.
Unbelievable confidence, yeah. I would have tried, like, throw this ping pong ball at me. Say, shoot me in the head. Yeah. That works. Probably did a number on old Prince Alexander.
Yeah. We also get a little Volca scene. Maybe we can dig into that on the way over here, where she gives him her phylactery.
Just a gross word.
I hated it.
Could have gone with turtle doves or something.
I did like, I liked Valka in that scene. She had a lot of depth and feelings. I did not like Hadrian. He has maybe the douchiest section of himself in the entire series so far. Okay. Did you pick up the I could get any girl I want scene?
I don't think I'm remembering it. Clearly I've read it. But...
So this is when she's like about to give him the phylactery. She says, he's like mentioning, like, if I wanted a wife, I'd have had one, Anais or Cielcin. Had I been more susceptible to the charms of women, which is to say, had I been the sort of man willing to take advantage of women, I might have had whichever I'd wanted.
I had girls who were way hotter than you who were interested in me.
I was like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I could have gotten any girl at the party. I just didn't want to.
Interesting he didn't mention cat in all this.
Yeah.
I could have had my toothless hobo girlfriend, but I just chose you, so you should be grateful.
She gets no love.
Okay, so we're on to the climactic battle, i.e. the last 40% of this book.
Yep. And you thought Yubalu at the beginning was bad? Now we get fucking 3 dozen mecha Yubalu freaks.
Yeah, they got Yubalus out the ass.
Yeah,
he wasn't that special, as it turns out.
I mean, the plan goes to shit. Hauptmann screws up the fleet organization.
Yep.
All the ships are dead. And the Cielcin just launch siege towers. And so there's like 100,000 Cielcin invading out of nowhere.
One thing, this is my own ignorance. I know that there's an answer for this. I hope you have it. I thought the Cielcin were just fucking blowing up planets left and right and shit, and that they didn't really do land battles anymore. What's up with that? Is that just because they had a defense force here and they weren't able to do the world-destroying nukes, or what?
So funny enough, the way that they describe it, because they do cover that a little bit, is that earlier they did kind of destroy a planet or the people of a planet and left, but they need food.
Yeah, we're back to the part of this that makes no sense.
Yeah, so they're dangling Berenike as food. That is
calm citizens, everything will be fine.
That I don't buy that. I know we've been really sus on that plot, and I still am, but that is the whole thing, is that they're hungry, and so they're going to go to this planet and try to pillage.
Plan, we open a Jack-in-the-Box off the highway. They will stop for a burger.
There's lots of times in this section where I'm like, why didn't they just nuke this place? Like, why didn't the Cielcin just nuke this?
Could they have? I wasn't sure if, like, tech-wise they could have.
I don't know, but it seemed like they would be willing to sacrifice all their ground troops to just blow the place up. But anyway.
I don't know, man. I guess that's not really what I was thinking about. I was thinking more about people kicking ass.
There's a lot of ass kicking. Let's do some ass kicking highlights.
Hit me.
There's a giant 30-foot baby freak.
Yes. Why is it a baby?
I don't know. It's so weird.
Is this the first time we get the reveal that Yubalu is a lady and Dorayaica is banging it?
Yeah, technically. Yeah. Weird. The hand people are freaky. Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning of this, I was like, they're really getting wrecked. Like, it felt like they had no actual ground defense once the people came and landed.
They were getting their asses kicked. You know, it was very cool. Freaky snake monsters that come out of the sky and rip throats. I feel like we've seen the baby versions, but this was like the full military grade version.
This is like the swarm. There's like thousands of these.
Yeah, those were horrifying and very hard to fight.
They're really scary. The Irkutani are dope. They're just flying around killing things.
Extremely useful to have a fleet of flying boys out there. Yeah. Why are there no jetpacks in this world?
I don't know. Lorien is also an MVP of this whole section. He sits in his chair like L from Death Note. Very anime reference.
Haven't seen it, but I'm sure you're right.
I am very accurate.
I'm so right.
I'm so right. And then, yeah, they get, I don't know, it's like Helm's Deep battle vibes. There's battering rams. You have to stop the battering ram.
Yeah. There's a lot of falling back.
There's a fallback through the tunnels.
Closer to the citizens who are hiding, which is not good for the people who are serving as bait.
One of the Yubalu clone people beats a guy to death with his own leg. That was a highlight.
I was really thinking about fighting a monster whose hand was the size of me, and I really couldn't wrap my head around it.
The size was hard. I couldn't wrap my head around how big a Colossus was.
Yeah.
He said they're like 300 feet tall. Are they just like mechs?
Fucking monstrous. 30-foot building? Or a 30-story building?
Yeah. Are they mechs?
Crazy.
Are they like walking tank things? It's confusing.
I pictured them as mechs. I mean, it's gotten so mechy.
Yeah.
Like, what is the name of Yubalu 2, the 30-foot tall one?
Oh.
Starts with a B.
It's like Baroon or something. Bagoon. Badoon.
Anywho.
Whatever.
Yeah. He's so mech, like firing missiles out of his shoulders and stuff.
Yeah. He's crazy.
It is the most Gundam thing.
This gets very Gundam. You have like, everyone has personal shields and there's laser rifles.
Yeah. I feel like you should have more than 6 of those guys.
Yeah, probably. Super useful.
Like a few more.
Yeah. It's also very like video game scaly in these battles. Like you're fighting slightly more difficult bosses on your way up to, get through the like Elite 8 or Elite 5 or whatever it is from Pokemon.
Yeah. You've gone from Rattata to the god of time.
Exactly. And then we get, I guess it's probably the climax of all the fighting. There's like tunnel bombs and individual fights, but it's like a whole stop the drill thing. That's what happens. There's a giant
That's extremely cool.
drill tank and they have to go sabotage it.
I feel like we were comparing Darrow fucking flying headfirst through a spaceship in Red Rising to this. I think we got a little Darrow vibes on this one.
This is real Darrow.
Going straight into the drill thing.
Yeah.
That really felt like
the birds are just dropping them from the sky to come slice their way into the tank. Yeah.
Man, the gel layers on those suits are clutch.
Crazy.
Got to get me a gel layer. Maybe they could use those in the NFL.
Yeah, but this is a team effort. Like, Basander comes and saves the day 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I felt like everyone had a moment.
Yep.
Where they really did something that turned the tides.
Volca.
Basander, Jesus. I feel like we have to table Volca because there's a lot there. But yeah, Basander getting dropped on the guy's shoulder and hacking off his arm.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So
I was very happy for Basander. Really heroic
It was awesome.
moment for him. And Udex, rest in peace, bird brother. We love you so much.
He's stabbing eyes.
Really clutch, but also completely got squished.
Yeah. And it's a freaky scene. Like, they're really hacking away at this guy, and he is just a blind, big, baby freak suicide bomber. He is like going to roll and crawl his way to the wall and blow everybody up.
Blow himself up. Yeah, that's so tough. Yeah. Not exactly human either. So you can't really stop him with pain.
Yeah, they're trying their best. They've chopped every appendage off, and he's still just crawling along.
Yeah. And then we get a cool new enemy who promptly dies. The extra Solarian who's helping them with all this new tech.
From Minos, the like society of...
Dr. Urbane, if memory serves.
Yeah, and
that was cool.
They named
Audiobook
Minos
narrator.
again, which is cool.
Yeah. The narrator gave him a wild voice in his 10 lines. It was real like, you'll never stop me!
I figured, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I'm imagining like
really
a Sonic
good.
the Hedgehog character,
Chow Garden.
Yeah.
Anyways. So Valka, Neuralink is both her savior and her downfall.
Yeah. She spikes the big baby robot, but then she gets mind hacked.
Yeah, she left her firewall open as she was doing that. And isn't it like she literally got like a virus installed in her fucking brain?
Yeah. And she's like going haywire, and I was like, is he gonna have to like put her down like Old Yeller? Like, my dog is sick. I don't know if she will. They just threw her on ice. They're like, we're gonna figure this out later.
Yeah, with haywire, getting freaky.
Like, that was freaky. They're like channeling a conversation through her.
Yeah, this is pretty riveting stuff.
This is good. Talking about it now, it was a really, really long fight. Like, you're kind of like, I'm tired. I need a bit of a break after like 200 pages of this scene. But it was sick. There was a lot of really big highlights. I also really appreciated that Hadrian's true fighting advancement is not accessing time realities, but it's just not dropping his sword when he gets punched. There's like 4 times where he's like, and I still had it.
Yo! Yeah, still got it. Man, you just strap that thing onto your hand.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they kill the baby, and then turns out there's still a Cielcin planet ship up there, and it's going to destroy them.
Yeah. And their whole fleet got wiped out.
Yeah.
Reinforcements on the way. Our favorite
Corvo.
buff queen, Octavia, on the way. So much like the famous Tupac hologram from Coachella many years ago, got a Dorayaica hologram.
Is the most ridiculous.
And he says,
go for
what?
It. No, go for it. Go for it.
You didn't like hologram?
No, I loved hologram. I hated that Hadrian's like, I'll surrender tomorrow.
Dude, this hasn't been a series that has fallen prey to the like villain trying to get their last epic line in, then getting their head blown off.
Until now.
This was kind of egregious, wasn't it?
This was bad. This was like when James Bond gets tied up and they have the slow-moving laser towards his crotch and the villain just leaves the room.
And Hadrian's thing was like, I need to get my affairs in order. It's like, so Dorayaica is going to let you do estate planning because he's nice?
What is whack? I didn't understand it.
It just doesn't feel, that just does not feel like this serious to just have people being absolute fucking bozos who are not supposed to be bozos.
Yeah. And then it like you kind of, he goes to like triumph. He basically replicates the human triumph from the forum. And he wants to do it to Hadrian, like kill him in front of everyone.
Yeah.
But it's also a really lame way to do it. Wouldn't he like, what I thought was going to happen is he was going to beam himself down and like duel Hadrian.
Ooh, that would have been kind of fun.
Yeah. But instead he just shoots a space laser at him.
Yeah. And listen, I get that the ideal is to have him have a very public and embarrassing execution, but plan B, just take him out, I think would work.
Yeah, just fire your nuke down there.
Don't let Hadrian write his last will and testament.
No, giving him a day is a wild choice.
And yeah, fucking backfires. All beautifully foreshadowed in his Bastien Durand dodging the bullet thing. Mm-hmm. He does it again, baby.
In front of everybody watching. Cielcin and human.
No more EP footage of shit from Vorgassos.
No,
I think
this guy's a witch.
Everybody's gonna know about this.
Yeah, Alexander. The reaction from Alexander afterwards is like, "You fucking freak."
Yeah, I was wrong, but you're a freak.
Yeah, it's like I don't like it.
Man, and goddamn if that ain't the end of the book.
Yeah, but the legend is just growing. Halfmortal Hadrian. I mean, it's an echo to book 2.
Yeah. So where does that leave us for book 4?
Well, he's now officially an enemy of the emperor. Like he is going to be more popular than everybody on forum.
Yeah. Because, I mean, think about what a mess that was for the emperor at the start of this book when, again, all we had were rumors and a suppressed video of what had happened. Now this was on cable.
Yep.
And there's no getting around it anymore.
And he's also an enemy of the Chantry.
Chantry are going to hate this.
Well, they're not going to be happy.
I think there was also a hint. I think word is really out about what Volka's got going on. And I think people are going to stop caring about her diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, just the Tavrosi representative thing isn't good enough anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that is officially going to stop protecting her in book 4.
Yeah.
Would be my prediction.
And I think we very much get a Alexander anti-hero arc of this dude hates Hadrian now.
Yeah.
I actually thought this was kind of botched in this book, the Alexander development, because he goes from loving him to hating him to loving him to hating him to just really hating him at the ends. But there's just not, I don't know, the interactions are really weird throughout.
It was real ping-pongy. Yeah. If you told me that this is where it ended after the sort of Colosso sequence where they made up.
Right.
I don't know if I would have believed you. I really thought that they had sorted out their differences and man, they did not.
And I guess it's when Hadrian's like, I want 5 more years to explore these ruins while your fleet is dying. That's when they really start their schism. But that kind of got lost in the shuffle of everything else that was happening.
When you're an 8-year-old and your parents decide to get dessert at dinner.
Yeah.
I want to fucking go home, please.
Your mom starts talking to someone at the grocery store.
I do not want to be at this Olive Garden anymore. Yeah. But it does feel like, I don't know, it could go anywhere. This isn't a cliffhanger ending, really.
No, it's just setting up a new chapter, you know?
Like the deck has been shuffled.
I don't know. What do we think? Let's do some book 4 predictions.
I mean, I think I've already said my prediction, which is it's going to be real gloves off with Valka. Mm-hmm. And I think there's going to be a lot of Hadrian and Valka on the run from Imperial forces, and they're probably going to go to Tavrosi land.
Oh, that's a
I
good
think
one.
they already said that. That's not even a prediction. I think they said that at the end of the book. Xander will be officially named heir to the Emperor. I'm going to predict that one. Again, that's already been suggested, not really a prediction. What do you got?
I think that the Jadians are going to split off from the Empire and join Hadrian.
I like that. Well, they're like a separate political unit.
Yeah.
I'll call them a nation, but you think they're going to officially align themselves with Hadrian?
Yeah, they've always been fans of Hadrian, and they love strength.
I got a great prediction. Alexander, as I said, I think he's becoming parallel Hadrian. I think he's going to be approached by the Watchers.
Whoa.
What do you think about that?
That's a wild... I hadn't even thought about that. That's fantastic.
And he's going to be like, I'm actually the god.
Yeah.
They talk to me. They like me better.
Wow. I love that. Let's see. Some other ones. I think Switch is a Chantry Inquisitor, and he's going to come after Hadrian.
I think Switch now owns a brothel and is a crazy person.
What Cielcin interactions are we getting book 4? Do we get a showdown with Dorayaica? Does Hadrian touch the mothership?
I'm sort of wondering if Dorayaica is the big bad in this series, or if he's like an intermediate boss, and we're going to have bigger, badder people to deal with.
I think he feels like the big bad because you got to fight through his other 4 hand people, and the first 2 have been tough.
Yeah. Are those like are those the pinky and the ring finger?
But yeah, right? Like, what's the thumb, you know?
Dude, if you shove Cielcin thumb, that's gonna be tough.
It's the second thumb. It's not even the normal hand thumb. It's the second one.
Oh my god, they got a bigger thumb. It's like a big toe on your wrist.
It's the, like opposable thumbs for us versus apes, you know?
Can you imagine if you had another thumb on the other side of your pinky?
I'd be a sick golfer. I think these are good predictions.
Prediction corner.
I
will say
he's gonna have to put Valka down.
Like a dog. Yeah, that would be really sad.
Yeah.
If she's still just kind of permanently glitched out, they can't fix her. One thing we did notice, like comparing notes on the last 3 books, on the first 3 books, they have followed remarkably similar structures.
Yes.
Like each of the 3 books has been sort of an opening action sequence, followed by a mystical encounter with the Quiet or some similar thing, and then an epic fight to end. I feel like we gotta shake that up next time. If it starts with like a chase sequence nearing Tavrosi and then the Cielcin surprise show up and there's another mecha boss, whatever, I'm gonna be a little bummed. But I just don't feel like he'd do that. I think he knows how his books are structured and it's gonna shake things up.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I agree. I think we gotta see something a little bit different in this and no more like Colosso reruns and stuff like that. How long do you think the time skip is going to be between 3 and 4?
I'm going to predict shorter because I think he's going to want to show Hadrian trying to cure Valka, and I don't know that we can get 300 years between now and him trying to do that.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm going to give a bold one. It's going to be like 10 years.
Yeah, I'm open to that. Like he goes straight from here to Tavrosi land. And we kind of pick up as they're approaching.
And we're like trying to cure Valka. That's the opener.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if she becomes like a head in a jar?
Oh my God. What if like 90% of the time she's Valka and 10% she just keeps channeling Dorayaica?
I'm Dorayaica.
Like they're in bed together and he's like, I see you, prophet.
We are somehow back to him accident or like almost fucking Karn Saga.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I would be kind of into. Oh, that's. I don't think he'll write that, but that would be fascinating.
I think it'd be awesome.
God, that would be fascinating. And then, like, final question: how do you feel about this series where we're at right now? Now that we've I know we talked about this at the start. Now that we've really gotten our thoughts out on the last book,
we have so much.
What do you think about this series?
It's so fun to talk about.
Yeah,
we have unlimited fodder.
Yes,
versus like other books we've read in the past where you kind of get through the plot summary and you're like, well, okay, talk to you later.
Yeah, that's like, it's the anti-John Gwynne because there's just so much to discuss and he takes so many big swings in this series. Like there's unbelievable amount of personality in the writing.
And the fact that we have no idea where it's going to go is promising. Like we're almost 2,000 pages into this.
Yeah.
And we have no clue where it's going.
There's so many things that he really is so good at. Like, these action sequences are amazing. I love this world. I love the Quiet. Like, the cultures are all very believable. Like, he's doing so much well.
And he's really smart. I'm going to give it to him. He knows a lot.
Course. Yeah, I would never... Yeah.
Well, I think...
No, he's a very, very talented writer.
No, and in book one, it was, I think, a little bit more of like 21-year-old Ruocchio showing off like what he's read. And now he's actually using it in very subtle ways. Like the quote from like Carlisle or whatever it was on Annika. It's like he didn't like stop the whole narration to talk about Aristotle or something the way he would in book one.
No.
He just like threw out a little old English.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more like trusting the reader is maybe what I would say. Like you don't have to point out every reference that's in there and like beat your reader over the head with it, but for the people who want to go hunting for that stuff, it's there and it's more tastefully woven in. And it does just seem like a confidence thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe a taste thing too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, do I always like it? Not necessarily, but I do respect it.
But is the world building like impressive? Yes. Is the writing good? Yeah. Yes. Is the plot interesting? Yes. And is like the battle scenes hype? 100%. Yeah. So it's like there's stuff in the middle that frustrates me, but it's checking all the big boxes for me.
Yeah, it's just like, I think the side character thing is hamstringing it for me. Just like hyper focus on this one character and consistently not giving other people like inner lives or motivations beyond following Hadrian or kind of reacting to him. That, and then I think just like a little bit of neckbeardiness in the execution. But I don't know. At the same time, the neckbeardiness like sort of makes it what it is. So like, would I ask him to take that out?
Right.
Probably
and
not.
I'd also say really committing to first person narration and never deviating is also a pretty big swing. So props to him for like sticking it through.
Yeah. It's something that's making the series stand out, even if I'm not sure that it's making this the version of this series I would most enjoy.
Sure. It's like, what's the book? You walk into a bar, the second person narration book.
Italo Calvino?
No, not Calvino. It's the one about doing like cocaine in Chicago.
Oh, the like post Kerouac guy. Who the fuck am I thinking of?
Oh no, I'll figure that out.
The guy who just wrote about having sex on drugs. Whatever.
Yeah, that's not important right now. But
maybe we'll cover On a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino.
Oh, next. Is it Bright Lights, Big City? Is that what it is?
It could be.
I think that's the one.
I don't know much about that beyond the title.
Anyway. But yeah, I'm hyped.
Okay.
I think we're ready to get back into it soon. After we'll do a brief intermediate book, and then we'll be back pretty fast with book 4.
Yeah. We're gonna go into Fugue for a couple weeks, I think.
Well, we're gonna go listen to Gracie Abrams and Gus Offelstein, and then we're gonna think about our choices.
Oh man, I can't wait to review the Ludacris into Gracie Abrams combo.
It's gonna be great. Concert review will continue to be in these episodes. Hell yeah, this is a blast.
Yeah, rate us, whatever. Reach out if you have any questions.
Or
let us know. I feel like we really fucked some stuff up in this episode, but
oh yeah, man. I mean, what I'm gonna laugh at is if all your quiz questions are wrong somehow.
2 + 2 is in fact 5.
Wow, it's like not pardon my take. That's the weird Barstool guys, but the old pardon the interruption when they do the mailbag corrections at the end of each episode.
Oh, yeah,
I love those. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Need that.
Okay,
cool.
On that note, God bless you.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something in world to say, but I can't really think of it.
Yeah.
Mother Earth. God damn.
Halfmortal. That was mine.
All right. And bye.
Bye. Love you.